328 people died in 12 minutes. Crushed against locked stadium gates. The government said it was 300. Then 200. Then 120. By morning, the official count was 45. Bodies were buried in mass graves with no names. Families were told their loved ones were never there. The lie lasted 50 years. The stadium held 45,000. 53,000 were inside. 8,000 over capacity. The exits? Locked from outside. Why? To prevent fans from sneaking in without tickets. The police? Ordered to use tear gas on crowds. Standard procedure. Every decision made by people following rules. Every death caused by regulations. This wasn't chaos. It was system failure. With victims. This is documented. Survivor testimony. Medical records that weren't destroyed. Journalists who defied censorship. Subscribe now because this story reveals how governments bury truth, how witness testimony disappears, and how official history is written by those who need to hide what happened. May 24, 1964. 3 p.m. Before the match. When everyone was still alive. Lima, 1964. Military dictatorship ruling Peru. But today? Football. Peru vs Argentina. Olympic qualifier. National pride. Families saved for months to attend. Fathers brought sons. Friends traveled together. The stadium was celebration. Flags. Songs. Hope. Peru was winning. Could qualify for Tokyo Olympics. First time ever. The crowd dreamed of glory. They had no idea they had minutes left. The match was brutal. Physical. Argentina played rough. Fouls. Hard tackles. The referee was Uruguayan. The crowd thought he favored Argentina. Every call against Peru brought boos. Whistles. By second half, the crowd was angry. But Peru was winning. 1-0. Then 1-1. Then 88th minute. 2 minutes left. Peru scored. The stadium erupted. Peru was going to the Olympics. Then the referee's whistle. Goal disallowed. Offside. The celebration stopped. The rage began. The crowd threw cushions. Bottles. Debris onto the field. Standard football rage. The referee stopped the match. Police entered the field. Riot squad. In Peru, 1964, under military dictatorship, police had one response to disorder. Force. They didn't de-escalate. They dominated. The order came down, clear the stands. Use whatever necessary. The police had tear gas. And they used it? Generously. Tear gas in an enclosed space. 50,000 people. The gas didn't disperse. It concentrated. People couldn't breathe. Couldn't see. Children choking. Elderly collapsing. The crowd moved. Away from gas. Toward exits. Natural. Logical. Survival. 50,000 people moving at once. Toward 6 exits. That were locked. From the outside. They didn't know yet. They were already dead. Just still moving. The first people reached the exits. Pushed on the gates. Nothing. Locked. They pushed harder. The gates didn't move. Chained from outside. The crowd behind didn't stop. Couldn't stop. 50,000 people pushing. Those in front crushed against steel. Screaming. The people behind couldn't hear. Couldn't see. Just kept pushing. Forward. Always forward. The pressure was inhuman. Literally. Physics. Massachusetts momentum. Bodies became fluid. Bones became compressible. 12 minutes. That's how long it took. From first tear gas to last death. 12 minutes. People died standing up. Crushed upright. No room to fall. They died with eyes open. Screaming into the backs of heads in front of them. Children lifted overhead by parents trying to save them. Died anyway. Crushed from above. Suffocated by compression. Bodies piled 6 feet deep at the gates. The ones underneath died first. Blessing, maybe. Outside the stadium. The military knew. Radio reports. Screaming audible through concrete. Officers had keys to the gates. Standing 20 feet away. The order came down. Do not open. Do not release. Contain the situation. Translation, let them die inside. Don't let the riot spread outside. The locked gates weren't accident. After the crush started, they were policy. Sacrifice some to protect order. The officers followed orders. Always following orders. 6:15 p.m. The match officially ended. Police finally opened the gates. The bodies fell out. Like water. Just poured onto the concrete. 328 dead. Over 500 injured. Families searching. Stepping over bodies. Turning over faces. Looking for loved ones. Finding them. Medical teams overwhelmed. No plan. No preparation. No protocol for this. The stadium became a morgue. Open air. Public. Traumatic. Within hours, the government announced, 45 dead. Obvious lie. Witnesses counted hundreds. The government controlled all media. All radio. All newspapers. The official number 45. Journalists who reported higher. Arrested. Threatened. Families who claimed dead relatives. Told they were mistaken. No body. Then nobody died. Simple. The military dictatorship wrote reality. And enforced it. The bodies had to disappear. 328 bodies. But officially, only 45 dead. Solution, mass graves. Unmarked. Middle of night. Military supervision. Families not notified. Bodies buried in groups. No names. No records. No coffins. Just trenches. Fill with bodies. Cover with lime. Cover with dirt. Done. Erase the evidence. Erase the people. Erase the truth. The math was simple. Can't prove deaths if there are no bodies. Families went to hospitals. To morgues. To government offices. My husband was at the match. He didn't come home. Response, no record of him being there. But I have his ticket stub. Tickets can be sold. Transferred. Doesn't prove attendance. But witnesses saw him. Witnesses are unreliable. Kafka couldn't write this. It was real. People who existed. Who died. Whose families grieved. Told officially, they never existed. Your grief is for nobody. The government formed an investigation committee. 6 military officers. No civilians. No families. No independent observers. They investigated for 3 months. Conclusion, unfortunate accident. No one responsible. Gates were locked per standard security protocol. Tear gas use was appropriate. Police followed training. Crowd caused own deaths by panicking. Victims blamed. Authority absolved. Report classified. Case closed. Permanently. The international community knew. Argentina's team was there. Saw everything. FIFA knew. Olympic Committee knew. They said nothing. Why? Cold War. Peru was anti-communist. Strategic ally. You don't embarrass allies over dead civilians. Sports continued. Olympics happened. Argentina-Peru relations remained fine. Nobody wanted to make it awkward. 328 people were worth less than diplomatic convenience. The silence was policy. International policy. Survivors lived with trauma. PTSD before PTSD had a name. But they couldn't talk. Support groups? Banned. Gathering of survivors illegal. Talking about it? Socially forbidden. Families discouraged them. Move on. Forget. Don't make trouble. The dictatorship ruled until 1968. Then democracy came. The silence continued. Why? Shame. National shame. Admitting truth meant admitting what Peru did to Peruvians. Easier to forget. Pretend it never happened. Collective amnesia as national policy. 1990s democracy established. Journalists started investigating. Found survivors. Now elderly. Willing to talk finally. Found medical records that weren't destroyed. Death certificates. 312 found. Not 45. Not 100. 312 documented. Another 80 estimated. Total around 400. The official count remained 45. The government refused to revise it. Even in democracy. Too embarrassing. Better to maintain the lie than admit 50 years of lying. 2004, 40 years later. The Peruvian government issued a statement. Not apology. A statement. Acknowledging the tragedy. Didn't revise death toll. Didn't name the dead. Didn't compensate families. Just acknowledged something happened. No officials held responsible. No one charged. No one even fired. Statute of limitations expired. Convenient. The military officers who gave orders died of old age. Peacefully. In bed. Surrounded by family. Unlike their victims. Who died standing. Screaming. Surrounded by strangers. Forgotten. Today, Estadio Nacional still stands. Renovated. Modern. Hosts matches. 50,000 fans. The gates? Now unlock from inside. Fire code. That law was passed in 1965. After Lima. After 328 people proved locked gates kill. There's a plaque. Small. Outside gate 7. Mentions victims of tragedy. Doesn't say how many. Doesn't name them. Most Peruvians don't know it happened. It's not taught in schools. Not discussed. A nation forgot its own dead because remembering meant admitting who killed them. The government didn't just lock the gates. They locked the truth. And 50 years later, it's still locked. Some prisons don't have bars. They have amnesia.